This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, this is very much appreciated. Here on this Saturday morning, the 9th of May, it's French Guineas weekend this weekend, the French 1000 and 2000 Guineas. So what better time is there than to take a look at a horse that currently is based in and racing in France. But before we do that, I like to mention my Patreon channel in these videos, Newman Racing, the channel is called. Why not head over there and see if it's for you, especially if you are a fan of National Hunt Racing, because that is where a lot of the National Hunt Racing will now be found. Over on the Patreon, there's plenty of resources over there as well that I've uploaded over the years that you might always find useful. There's an option there to support me moving forward if you'd like to do that sort of thing moving forward, but it is in no way at all compulsory for you to do that. The channel is there. There's plenty of free stuff on there as well. There's plenty of collections as well for people to take a look at. It's also the place that I do the end of year videos as well, where a lot of horses that have fallen short will be replaced by new, hopefully up and coming and better horses than the ones that were replaced. So yeah, Newman Racing it's called, over on Patreon. Why not head over there? You never know, it might be for you. Right, let's now get on with the Classic Watch 26 stuff. ClassicWatch26.great/site.net is where people are able to find this year's edition of Classic Watch. Ahead of the French Guineas weekend, there are now 7 theatres on the site. France and Ireland, I'm sure, will make an appearance as well as some horses might be going on other tabs as well. But you'll see the Roll of Honour coming together now, slowly but surely. The 2-year-olds from Europe starting to make their way onto the site now ahead of their Guineas campaign. If they are having one over in Europe, the Irish Guineas is at the end of the month, and the German Guineas is not a Group 1. But yeah, ClassicWatch26.great/site.net is where people will be able to find the site this year. And you never know, they might find this horse here. Green Spirit is the name of the horse, an American-bred horse sired by Kingman out of a dam called Sapphire Pendant, who herself was sired by Danehill Dancer. Green Spirit trained in France by Christopher Head, owned in the silks of Wertheimer Effrere, who also bred the horse as well. A third horse that we've looked at in France, and a third from Wertheimer Effrere currently. Green Spirit has had an interesting career to her date so far, it's fair to say. The horse has had 6 runs in her career, 4 wins and 2 non-winning prizes, for total earnings of €235,190 in her career so far. People will see that she won her first 4 starts of her career, including a Group 3 and a Group 2 race as a 2-year-old last year. Sadly, she could only finish second in the Group 1 pre-Marcel Boussac on the 5th of October at Longchamp, where she was behind Classic Watch 26 Possible Diamond Necklace on the day. And also, she rather blotched her copybook this season on the 12th of April 2026, when she could only finish fourth in her comeback race over a mile, a Group 3 race, a pipe opener for this classic. But we do like to take them out. But so, yeah, 4 wins and a third. It's 4 wins and a second, in 6 starts, 5 out of 6 in the first 3. So she's made an interesting career an interesting start to her career, it's fair to say. People will check on the French site, because she is a French-based horse. People will see, if they check the entries, they will see that she's also in the French Oaks, the Prix de Diane, which takes place on the 14th of June 2026, as well as a partante, which is a confirmed participant at this stage in the French 1000 Guineas tomorrow, the 10th of May 2026. People can take a look at her career on the Racing Post and you'll see that, again, the Racing Post hasn't missed any of her runs so far. She was allocated a mark of 84 when she beat My Highness, a horse that ran in the UK Guineas last week for Godolphin, on debut by a nose on the 19th of May 2025 at St Cloud. She then went back to St Cloud on the 29th of June 2025 up to 7 furlongs for a conditions race, and she managed to beat San Martino that day by 1.5 lengths, improving her best Racing Post rating from 84 to 89. Her first run in Patent Company came in the Group 3 at Deauville on the 3rd of August 2025, the Pre-6 Perfections, when she managed to defeat Valentina by short head, running to a Racing Post rating of 94. And then after that, she had a month or so off, coming back on the 11th of September 2025 at Longchamp to contest the Group 2 Prix du Mile, again, up to trick from 7 furlongs to a mile. And she managed to defeat Narissa by 1.25 lengths that day, running to a Racing Post rating of 99. Still under 100 after 4 starts. Safe to say the Racing Post rating doesn't really reflect French racing much, I don't think. The Prix-Marcel Boussac run is still the best of her career, where she was beaten 1 length by the Aidan O'Brien trained Diamond Necklace on the 5th of October 2025, where she was allocated a Racing Post rating of 106 on that day. And she was allocated a Racing Post rating of 101 when she finished 4th out of 7, beaten 2 3/4 lengths by Evolutionist. I think that was another one that ran in the UK Guineas last week, wasn't it? In the Prix de la Grotte, a Group 3 race over 1 mile at Longchamp on good ground. She seems fairly versatile regarding ground. She's ran twice on good ground, once on very soft, twice on good to soft, and once on soft. So, really, I think the Racing Post have underrated her races, it's fair to say. But she's had a fantastic career so far. 5 out of her 6 starts are in the first 2. But I don't think that rating is fair. Not even on Diamond Necklace, they must have only rated her about 110 for winning that race, the Prix-Marcel Boussac. But yeah, very interesting horse, I do think, Green Spirit, it's fair to say. People will take a look at the horse on the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database, everything up to date there, €227,870 in France. There's the wins in the Prix du Mile and the Pre-6 Perfections, and the runner-up spot in the Prix-Marcel Boussac already on the site. Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database, well and truly up to date at this point, and you will see that the dam line, what we're interested in for this video, on Green Spirit is dam line 8F. Very interesting dam line, it's fair to say. What we're going to do in this video, because the 4th dam of this horse is a legendary broodmare born in 1965 called Best in Show. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the first 3 dams of this horse. We're going to pick up every relative from the first 2 dams that were born this century. Then I've had to be a bit selective for the 3rd dam, and you'll see why later on in the video. Then we'll take a look at where we are on the historical dam line as well, and then we will watch Green Spirit win 3 races. We'll watch her win first time out, and then we will watch her win another 2 pattern races after that. The Group 3 6 Perfections and the Group 2 Prix du Mile. So without further ado, let's get cracking, shall we? We've got plenty of horses to look at before we even get to the first dam of our horse. Star Rafik is the name of the first one. We're going to take a look at a mare born in 2016, sired by See the Stars out of Sapphire Pendant. So this horse is a half-sister to our horse. Star Rafik raced 6 times in her career, 1 win and 2 thirds. In it, 3 out of 6 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €25,400 in France. Not the most intensive racing career, it's fair to say. Star Rafik, she was 3rd in the listed Prix Occitane, a race held at Toulouse in 2019. And you'll see that she is already a black type producer in her career. Ozone is the name of the horse, a filly born in 2023. Not really a classic contender at this stage, but I have got my eye on her. Ozone is a horse sired by Lope de Vega out of Star Rafik. Ozone, according to this, is unbeaten, 2 starts and 2 victories for €41,150 up to this point. She was a winner last season of the listed Criterium de Lyon, a listed race over 1 mile held unsurprisingly at Lyon. This one trained by Christophe Furland in her career up to this point. Another one we need to take a look at is Equivane. Equivane, a colt born in 2017. Another one sired by Lope de Vega. This horse out of Sapphire Pendant. So this horse again is another half brother to our horse. Equivane raced 20 times in his career, 4 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds. 8 out of 20 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of €178,700 and $10,210 in his career. Decent horse on his day, Equivane, it's fair to say. Winner of the Group 3 Prix de Chêne of 2019 at 2. He also won at 4 the Group 3 Bertrand de Broye in France as well, and was third in the Group 3 Prix Exubry, as well as finishing second in the Group 3 Prix de Fontainebleau of 2020, a classic trial. This horse was decent, pretty good horse. That stud in Hungary. Apparently, a fee from 2023 onwards, the fee unknown up to this stage. But yeah, good horse, Equivane. Not surprised he's at stud, because he is a very well-bred horse. Take a look at the dam of our horse now. Sapphire Pendant, a mare born in 2008, sired by Danehill Dancer out of a dam called Butterfly Blue, who was born in the year 2000 and sired by Sadler's Wells out of a dam called Blush with Pride. Sapphire Pendant raced 5 times in her career, 1 win and 1 second. 2 out of 5 starts in the first 2 for career earnings of €21,535 in her career. Quite a light racing career, it's fair to say. Sapphire Pendant was second in the Group 3 1,000 Guineas trial of 2011 when trained by David Watchman. And we know through the other horses that we've looked at that she is a black type producer, the horse bred by Baronstown Stud. Found some horses in between the second and the third dam, it's fair to say. Osama Blue, a mare born in 2013, sired by Fastnet Rock, out of a dam called Butterfly Blue. So again, this would be a half-sister to our first dam. Sapphire Pendant. Osama Blue raced 9 times in her career, 2 wins, a second and 3 thirds, 6 out of 9 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of 2,911 Great British pounds and 37,185 New Zealand dollars. This horse had an eventful career. She was actually placed second in the Group 3 2018 Anniversary Handicap, a race held at Trentham in New Zealand. Horse bred by Baronstown Stud, horse owned by Sir Peter Vella, Mrs. John Magnier and Mrs. David Nagel. Interesting career the horse had. The Blue Brilliant is the next one we're going to take a look at. She is actually the next dam of our horse. I think I must have her. Is she? No, she isn't, is she? Blush with Pride is. What am I talking about? I am talking utter nonsense, aren't I? Yes, I am. The Blue Brilliant, a mare born in 2018, sired by Fastnet Rock out of Butterfly Blue. So again, this one very closely related to the horse we've just looked at. The Blue Brilliant raced 11 times in her career, 2 wins, 3 seconds and a third, 6 out of 11 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €40,900 and 11,718 UK pounds in her career. The Blue Brilliant, a couple of decent runs, second in the Group 3 Prix de Psyche at Deauville, and she was also second in the EBF Rothsay Stakes, a listed race up in Scotland at Ayr in the UK. So when trained by Mrs. John Harrington, another one owned by Mrs. David Nagel and Mrs. John Magnier, and bred by Baronstown Stud. King George River, horse born in 2010, sired by Danehill Dancer out of Butterfly Blue. So again, this one very closely related to the second dam of our horse. King George River raced 20 times in his career, 3 wins, 3 seconds and 2 thirds, 8 out of 20 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €8,338, £24,879 and 10,140 South African Rand. This horse, again, very eventful career. At his best was placed in the listed Fielden Stakes, placed second in 2013. Another one owned by Mrs. John Magnier, Michael Tabor and Derek Smith, and bred by Barronstown Stud. Lacadina was a mare. She did quite well on this line, it's fair to say. Lacadina, a mare born in 2005, sired by Vasiliev out of Butterfly Blue. Lacadina raced 8 times in her career, 1 win, 2 seconds and a third, 4 out of 8 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $85,539 in her career. Lacadina at 2 was placed in the listed Victoria Stakes at Woodbine of 2007, bred by Barronstown Stud and owned by Hyder Family Stables. Very good producer though, she's bred some nice horses. America is one of them, a mare born in 2011, sired by AP Indy out of Lacadina. America raced 22 times in her career, 5 wins and 4 thirds, 9 out of 22 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $580,532 in her career. At 3, America was placed in the 2014 Mother Goose Stakes. She was also second in the Gulfstream Oaks and 4th in the Coaching Club American Oaks. At 4, the horse managed to win the Group 3 Turn Back the Alarm Stakes and was placed in another race, the Group 1 Delaware Handicap. And at 5, the horse was placed in 3rd in the Top Flights Invitational, another Group 3 race. So yeah, Group 1, dual Group 1 and Group 2 placed, Group 3 winner. And she, as we know, we will find out soon, is a stakes producer, because she is the dam of First Captain, a horse born in 2018, sired by Curlin out of America. First Captain raced 11 times in his career, 5 wins, a second and 2 thirds, 8 out of 11 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $662,100 American dollars in his career. First Captain, a very decent horse, winner of the Group 3 Dwyer Stakes of 2021. At 4, he managed to win the Group 3 Pimlico Special Stakes as well, second in the Group 2 Suburban Stakes, and third in the Group 1 Jockey Club Stakes. I don't know the horse was at Stud. I might have to pause the video at the moment. No, because he might. Yeah, why not? Let's have a look if we can find any crops for him at Stud. He is a stallion I actually missed. So let's have a look and see if we can still find him, shall we? Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Yeah, would you believe it? I found his page and area. No, commenced the duties in Brazil in 2024, so no horses on the ground as of yet for First Captain. But yeah, he is at Stud in Brazil, as it says. Another one we can take a look at is Fancy, a mare born in 2020, sired by Justify out of Lacadina. Fancy's raced 10 times in her career, 3 wins and 3 seconds, 6 out of 10 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $295,580 in her career. Fancy managed to finish second in a stakes race in America, the Groupie Doll Stakes, owned by the Hyder Family Stables LLC and bred by Cindy M. Hyder in Kentucky. So yeah, it's fair to say that Lacadina has done a pretty good job on this line. Paris Lights is another one we can look at. Paris Lights, a mare born in 2017, sired by Curlin out of Paris Bikini. A mare born in 2012 and sired by Bernardini. People can see that Lacadina is the second dam of this horse. Paris Lights raced 9 times in her career, 4 wins and 3 thirds, 7 out of 9 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $403,842 in her career. Paris Lights at 3 won the Coaching Club American Oaks of 2020, and she also at 4 won the Group 3 Distaff Handicap at Aqueduct and was placed in another 2 stakes races. Very good horse, sold for $3.1 million to Spendthrift Farm, owned and bred by Winstar Farm LLC. You know where this line's going in the end. You know, there's some lovely dams on this line, isn't there? Paris Lights is definitely another one. Group 1 winner. Next horse we're going to take a look at is American Bikini, a filly born in 2022, sired by American Pharaoh out of a dam called Paris Bikini, who was born in 2012, and sired by Bernardini again. So this is very closely related to the horse we just looked at. American Bikini in her career so far has had 4 starts in her career, 2 wins and a second, 3 out of 4 starts in the first 2 up to this point, when they started looking, for career earnings of 22,366,836 Japanese yen in her career so far. American Bikini. Oh, there is pattern race form, I thought there. It doesn't seem to be showing any there. Owned by Silk Racing Company Limited and bred by Northern Racing. We'll look into that later. You know, I'm fairly certain that horse has been placed in a pattern race. But let's move on. Next horse we're going to take a look at is Butterfly Blue herself, a mare born in the year 2000, and she would be the second dam of our horse, Green Spirit. Butterfly Blue raced 9 times in her career, 1 win, 1 second and 2 thirds, 4 out of 9 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €15,550. Butterfly Blue sired by Sadler's Wells, out of a dam born in 1979, called Blush with Pride, who was sired by Blushing Groom, out of Best in Show. I mean, this is where really now I had to start missing some very good horses out of this video just to save a bit of time. Because like I said, this horse is on one of what I consider the legendary dam lines of the modern day. You know, it is what it is, horse racing. Very cyclical, but sometimes certain bloodlines come into favour. So let's have a look at some horses, shall we, related between the second and the third dam. All these horses, I think, descend out of Blush with Pride until told otherwise. Better Than Honour is a mare born in 1996, sired by Deputy Minister out of Blush with Pride. Better Than Honour raced 8 times in her career, 2 wins, 4 seconds and 2 thirds. Never out of the first 3 in 8 starts, for career earnings of $250,920 in her career. Better Than Honour managed to win the Group 2 Demoiselle Stakes of 1998, and at 3 she was placed in the Group 1 Acorn, the Group 3 Commerley Stakes and the Group 1 Mother Goose Stakes. So dual Group 1 placed, Group 2 winning down here, bred by Mr. and Mrs. Darryl Brown and owned by Southern Equine Stables. And she, as we will find out soon, is a black type champion producer. Greater Than Honour, a horse born in 2018, sired by Tappet out of a dam called Tiffany's Honour, who was foaled in 2011 and sired by Street Cry. People will see that Better Than Honour is the second dam of this horse, and Blush with Pride the third. Greatest Honour raced 10 times in his career, 3 wins, a second and 4 thirds, 8 out of 10 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $446,440 in his career. Greatest Honour was a good horse. I enjoyed watching him go round myself. He managed to win the Group 2 Fountain of Youth Stakes of 2021. He also won the Group 3 Holy Bull Stakes as well, and was third in the Group 1 Florida Derby. At 4, the horse was placed third in the Group 3 Ghost Zapper Stakes as well. So this horse was a Group 1 placed, Group 2 and Group 3 winner at stud from 2023 onwards at Spendthrift Farm in Kentucky. And you can see that he has his stud page there at Arian Pedigrees, arian.co.nz. And you'll see that he commenced stud duties in the USA in 2023. Another stallion, really. People like the Best in Show stallions, the best. Could be yet to come from this one. Greatest Honour, time will tell. The next horse we're going to take a look at is Rags to Riches, a mare born in 2004, sired by AP Indy out of Better Than Honour. Another one that's straight out of the Better Than Honour line. Rags to Riches raced 7 times in her career, 5 wins, 1 second, 6 out of 7 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $1,342,528 in her career. Rags to Riches managed to win the Belmont against the Colts. She won the Belmont Stakes of 2007. She also won the Group 1 Kentucky Oaks and the Group 1 Santa Anita Oaks and the Group 1 Las Virgin Stakes, second in the Group 1 Gazelle. She was the 2007 Eclipse champion 3-year-old filly, sold for 1.9 million at Keeneland's 2005 September yearling sale. She sadly died in November 2025 due to the infirmities of old age. The horse bred by Skara Glen Stables and owned in the end by Chelston and Wyatt. Fantastic horse, it's fair to say. What a mare. Dual classic winner of 2007. Going to take a look now at her younger brother then, haven't we? Giselle. A horse born in 2003, sired by Seeking the Gold out of Better Than Honour. Giselle raced 11 times in his career, 2 wins and 5 seconds, 7 out of 11 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $836,930 in his career. Giselle was an interesting horse for Shadwell, winner of the Group 1 Belmont of 2006. The horse was also second in the Group 1 Wood Memorial the same year, bred by Skara Glen Stables and owned by Shadwell LLC. Horse was also fourth in the Kentucky Derby, a dead heat with brother Derek. Last raced at Keeneland, entered stud in 2008 at Shadwell, sadly died in October 2014 after a paddock accident at the farm. Half-brother to Rags to Riches and a horse we're going to take a look at in a bit, called Casino Drive. So yeah, we found record of this stud. This horse was at stud and was siring reasonably well, it's fair to say. The horse sired 2 Group 3 winners. We know he sired the winner of the Razorback Handicap, and we know he sired the winner of the Jebel Ali Mile as well as the winner of the Fine Stakes. Couple of listed winners as well along the way. So yeah, this horse at least sired 2 individual Group 3 winners there, Hawakom and Sefri. But no Group 1 or Group 2 winners up to this stage for Giselle, but he did sire some stakes winners. Next horse we're going to take a look at is Casino Drive, a horse born in 2005, sired by Mineshaft out of a dam called Better Than Honour. Casino Drive raced 8 times in his career, 4 wins and a second, 5 out of 8 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $216,482 in his career. Casino Drive, an interesting horse, winner of the Group 2 Peter Pan Stakes of 2008. The horse at 4 was also placed in the February Stakes, a Japanese Group 1 race in 2009. Interesting horse, runaway debut winner at Kyoto, bred by Shell Bloodstock and owned by Hidetoshi Yamamoto. This horse was a Japanese horse that went to America just to win the Belmont and went to stud in Japan as well. He had a good career in Japan at stud. You will see in 2019, this horse Casino Drive was the 26th best stallion in Japan, hovering around the top 30 for a few years before dropping back. And you'll see that this horse did sire the winner of the Group 3 Miyako Stakes out in Japan, a horse called Vengeance. Also the winners of the Urawa Kinen and the Kawasaki Kinen that are only listed races in Japan. But I think on the Japanese national pattern, those races are a bit bigger than that. Them horses were sired in 2016 and 2017. So again, the horse did sire a few stakes horses, it's fair to say, Casino Drive in his career. At least 4 individual stakes winners that we can see there. The next horse we're going to take a look at is Man of Iron. A horse born in 2006, sired by Giant's Causeway out of a dam called Better Than Honour. So Better Than Honour still churning out the stallions. Man of Iron, raced 18 times in his career, 4 wins and 2/3, 6 out of 18 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $336,158 American dollars in his career. Man of Iron again was a very good horse, winner of the Breeders' Cup Marathon of 2009, sold in 2011. The horse also won 3 non-stakes races in Ireland, bred by Shell Bloodstock and owned by Samanda Racing. The horse went to stud from 2011 onwards at Harras San Pablo in Peru. And again, courtesy of the excellent JBIS.jp, we can see that Man of Iron, we know, sired at least the winner of the Group 3 Pre A Benavides and Y Benavides out in Peru, and also a listed winner as well. So 2 individual stakes winners at least sired out in Peru that this Japanese site is telling us You know, imagine if we had a decent Peruvian side, we might find that this horse sired quite well. But we know that it sired 2 stakes winners at least. What other horses can we look at? Streaming is an interesting horse. A mare born in 2011, sired by Smart Strike out of a dam called Teemin, who was born in 2001 and sired by Stormcat. People will see that Better Than Honour is the second dam of this horse and Blush with Pride the third. Streaming raced 4 times in her career, 2 wins and a second, 3 out of 4 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $349,000 in her career. Streaming managed to win the Group 1 Hollywood Starlet Stakes of 2013 as a 2-year-old, and at 3 she was second in the Las Virgin Stakes as well, a Group 1 race held at Santa Anita, owned and bred by Hill and Dale Equine Holdings Incorporated and Edward McGee, and Stretch Run Ventures also owned the horse. Interesting filly, Streaming, another Group 1 winning 2-year-old on this line. Tyson is an interesting horse. You'll see this is the same line. Teaming is the second dam and Honouring is the dam of this horse. Tyson was a colt born in 2019, sired by Tappet out of Honouring. Again, the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database has rather let itself down with this horse, telling us it's not even raced. If we look at Equibase, we can see that the horse raced 10 times, 4 wins, a second and 2 thirds. 7 out of 10 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $378,548 in his career. Multiple graded stakes winner. How could the Pedigree Online query miss it? The horse managed to win in his career the Group 3 Dominion Day Stakes at Woodbine. The horse also won the Group 2 Seagram Cup at Woodbine as well, and was placed in the Group 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup at Saratoga, and also placed in the Group 2 Eclipse Stakes at Woodbine, not Sandown. Interesting horse, it's fair to say. I can't believe, still to this day, I can't believe that Pedigree and Equine Query miss horses like that, but they do. The next one's been going down round quite recently. I missed this horse totally. Arcangelo, a horse born in 2020, sired by Arrogate, out of a dam called Modelling, who was born in 2012 and sired by Tappet. This is the same line again, look, as Streaming was on. Arcangelo raced 6 times in his career, 4 wins and a second, 5 out of 6 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $1,754,900 in his career. This horse, age 5, was going round last year. At 3, the horse won a classic. Can't believe I missed it. 2023 Belmont Stakes. What am I doing? And the horse also won the Group 1 Travers Stakes the same year, and the Group 3 Peter Pan. What was I doing that year? You know, Sack Classic watch. He's just missed the Best in Show Classic winner there, that 2023. Oh dear. That's not good. The sources that stud from 2024 onwards at Land's End, Kentucky, the 2026 fee of $30,000. Can't believe I missed that one. Bred by the Don Alberto Corporation and owned by Blue Rose Farm. The next horse we're going to look at is Turnberry Isle. Turnberry Isle was a horse born in 1998, sired by Deputy Minister out of Blush with Pride. So we're getting right back down now to the beginning, to the bottom of it. Turnberry Isle raced 10 times in his career, 3 wins and a second, 4 out of 10 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $133,074 in his career. Turnberry Isle was managed to win the Group 3 Beresford Stakes in Ireland, now a Group 2 race, and was second in the Group 2 Royal Lodge Stakes as well, now a Group 1 race. So Group 2 placed Group 3 winner in his day, bred by Orpendale. The horse was exported to Cyprus from the USA in 2001 for stud duties. Even JBIS couldn't find any record of this horse siring any stakes winners, so it must have had a very average stallion career at some point. Smolensk is a horse we need to take a look at. A mare born in 1992, sired by Danzig out of Blush with Pride. So now we're away from the Better Than Honour horses. They've all been finished now. So we're directly back on the Blush with Pride section now. We're going to take a look at a little Smolensk section. A mare born in 1992. 12 starts, 3 wins and 3 seconds, 6 out of 12 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $227,806 in her career. Smolensk managed to win the Group 2 Prix de Start in France in 1994, and she also won the Group 3 Prix Sandringham as well. Placed in the Group 1 Coronation Stakes at Royal Ascot at some point in her career, owned by Malibu Farm LLC and bred by Morvin Stud Limited out in Virginia. Good job. Also placed in the listed Prix Imprudence as well. Cam the Man is a horse out of Smolensk, sired by Intermischief, a horse born in 2011. Cam the Man raced 6 times in his career, 3 wins and a third, 4 out of 6 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $226,000 in his career. Cam the Man, interesting horse. At 2, managed to win the Speakeasy Stakes and was 3rd in the Group 1 Delmar Futurity. And at 3, the horse won the Group 3 Affirmed Stakes of 2014, a race held at Santa Anita. Another one bred by Malibu Farm LLC. This horse went to stud at some point in Brazil. Entered stud in 2015 at Spendthrift, and in 2019 his horse moved to Brazil, where he suddenly died in the fall of 2023 due to illness. Again, though, courtesy of JBIS, we can see this horse has sired some winners, sired 2 Group 3 winners at least, the 2021 Turf Monster Stakes and the 2025 race in Brazil there, the Prix Ministero de Economy, something or other, and a couple of listed winners as well, out in Brazil as well. So yeah, this horse made his mark at stud, siring at least 4 individual stakes winners. Makes it, how many horses we look at that size, say 200, legendary stallions. These are good horses that are struggling to sire less than 10. Mariinsky is another one we need to take a look at. A mare born in 1999, sired by Sadler's Wells out of Blush with Pride. Mariinsky raced 9 times in her career, 1 win and 2 seconds, 3 out of 9 starts in the first 2, for career earnings of $84,770 in her career. Mariinsky was 2nd in the Group 1 Fillies Mile of 2001, owned by Michael Tabor and Mrs. John Magnier and bred by Orpendale. And you'll see there that she is the dam of Irish champion Peepin' Fawn. Peepin' Fawn, a mare born in 2004, sired by Dane Hill, out of Mariinsky. Peepin' Fawn raced 10 times in her career, 5 wins, 2 seconds and 3 thirds, never out of the first 3 in 10 starts, for career earnings of £1,097,744 UK pounds in her career. Peeping Fawn at 3 won the Group 1 Pretty Polly Stakes and a classic winner of the Irish Oaks of 2007. She also won the Group 1 Nassau Stakes and the Group 1 Yorkshire Oaks. She was 2nd in the UK Oaks and 3rd in the Irish 1000 Guineas. Placed in 2 classics, winner of 1 in 2007, owned by Coolmore Island and bred by Barnet Enterprises. Champion 3-year-old filly in Great Britain and Ireland, and she is the Dam of September, among other horses. September is one that I didn't open for some reason. I think she did quite well, didn't she? Yeah, let's have a look at September. And there's Willow as well. I don't know what she's bred since. September, a mare born in 2015, sired by Deep Impact out of Peeping Fawn. September raced 7 times in her career, 2 wins, a second and 2 thirds, 5 out of 7 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £280,620 UK pounds in her career. September managed to win the Chesham Stakes in 2017 at 2 and was placed in the same race, the Group 1 Fillies Mile of 2017, 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies and Turf and the Group 1 Moyglare Stud Stakes, triple Group 1 placed Royal Ascot winner, owned by Poonawalla Astonished Stud, formerly owned by John Magnier and Michael Tabor and Derek Smith. Sold to India in Fault to Justify for $600,000. They don't mess about India, do they, when they want a horse? And she bred it, so that's why she never really bred anything else of note. But yeah, that would probably be the best one out of Peeping Fawn. But Peeping Fawn's brother, of course, The Way You Are, a horse born in 2005, sired by King Mambo out of Mariinsky. The Way You Are raced 9 times in his career, managing to win 4 of them, for total earnings of $340,968 in his career. The Way You Are managed to win the Group 1 Criterium International of 2007. The horse also won the Group 3 Prix Thomas Byron and the Criterium de Leon, a listed race. We had another one win that race, didn't we? Earlier in the line. So yeah, Group 1, Group 3, and listed winner, fourth in the Gannet. The horse entered stud in 2010 at Ashford, Kentucky, Sheffield, New Zealand. 2011 to 15, he was at Cornwall Stud in Ireland. 2016, he had a year in Germany. Then 2017, he was standing at Haras de Corlay in France for a fee of €3,000. This horse did make his mark, siring the occasional flat horse. Sired a few National Hunt horses in the end, I think. But you'll see there the horse did sire, again, Group 3 winners. Here Comes the Bride Stakes and the 2018 Premio Primi Passi in Italy with a horse called You Better Run. So yeah, a couple of Group 3 winners, also signed the winner there of the Wanganui Guineas in his time in New Zealand. So yeah, this one definitely signed nearly, you say, at least 8 individual stakes winners on this list. I'm not expecting this list to be complete in any step of the imagination because it's not a stallion that stood in Japan. You'll see there the horse never really made any impression out in Japan with limited runners, it's fair to say. But yeah, he did sire a few stakes winners along the way. We are now finally at the third dam of our horse. Believe it or not, Green Spirit. The third dam of our horse was bred in 1979. She's nearly as old as me. Blush with Pride. Blush with Pride, a mare born in 1979, sired by Blushing Groom out of Best in Show. Blush with Pride raced 16 times in her career, 6 wins, 4 seconds and 2/3. 12 out of 16 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of $536,807 in her career. What a horse. Blush with Pride, classic winner of the Kentucky Oaks of 1982. She also won the Santa Susana Stakes, the Group 2, that's now Group 1, Ashland Stakes, and she won the Group 3 Golden Harvest Stakes as well. Second in the Spinster Stakes and third in the Group 1 Mother Goose Stakes as well. But the classic winner of 1982, bred by Mr. and Mrs. Darrell Brown and Stonewreath Farm and owned by Orpendale. Broodmare in the USA and Ireland. She sadly died on August the 16th, 2005, designated a Reine de Course mare. In between the third and the fourth dam, there was so much going on there when you get into the relatives of Best in Show. This video could have been 4 weeks long if I'd have let it. I did find a couple more winners this century that I can show you. Be rude not to, wouldn't it? That are quite closely on this line. Rock Emperor, another one I missed going round at the time. Gelding, born in 2016, sired by Holy Roman Emperor out of the dam called Motivation, a French-bred mare who was born in 2009. And sired by Mutahir. People can see if you go back far enough. Best in Show is the fourth dam of this horse, sired by Rock Emperor. Rock Emperor raced 39 times in his career, 5 wins, 7 seconds and 6/3, 18 out of 39 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $1,268,147 in his career. He was a well-placed horse in the end, left France and went to America and loved it. He was placed in the Group 3 Prix La Force in France, and then he was placed in the Group 1 Belmont Derby Invitational the same year, 2019. At 4, he was still struggling to get his head in front, but he was running in Group 1 American turf races, placed in the Manhattan Stakes, placed in the Turf Classic, and placed in a couple of Group 2 races as well. Before at 5, the horse managed to win the Group 1 Joe Hirsch Turf Classic. At 6, the horse won the Group 2 Bowling Green Stakes as well. And at 7, the horse was placed in the Group 3 Singspiel Stakes at Woodbine in Canada. So this is a Group 1 and Group 2 winning gelding at its best. Out in America, horse bred by Harris de Mosray in France, owned in the USA by Madacat Stables LLC. A very good horse it was out in America. People mock American turf racing, but this horse was placed superbly towards the end of its career to take out a couple of pattern races. Another horse, I never even heard of this one before I made this video, FNX. A horse born in 2011, sired by Mineshaft out of What a Pair, a 2006 American-bred mare, who was sired by E. Dubai. I remember that one. Perfect Pair, you'll see, is the second dam. If people go back far enough, you will see that Best in Show is the fourth dam of this horse as well. FNX raced 28 times in his career, 9 wins, 3 seconds and 4/3, 16 of 28 starts in the first 3. Excuse me. for career earnings of $3,312,950 US in his career. FNX won some races at 4. He won the Clark Handicap. He also won the Group 2 Suburban Handicap. Also won the Group 3 Excelsior Stakes. Second in the Breeders' Cup Classic and third in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. At 5, the horse won the Group 2 Oaklawn Handicap and another Group 2 Suburban. Placed in second in the Group 2 Jockey Club Gold Cup, the relegation the year after, and third in the Group 1 Santa Anita Handicap. So this horse was a Group 1 and triple Group 3 winner. Went to study in New York in 2017 at Quest Royal North before sadly dying that year due to a ruptured pulmonary artery. Couldn't find any records, sadly, of him signing any horses on JBIS. The horse was bred by Dr. Russell S. Cohen and owned by the FNX Syndicate in his career. Yeah, interesting horse, FNX. Very well-bred horse. Best in Show, born in 1965. Only the 4th dam of this horse. Incredible. We're going to take a look now at a horse. I'll be able to include a video to this horse. It's one of my Stallion in Watch videos to enable you to look at another branch of the Best in Show dam line. If this video wasn't enough to prove it, then go and check out all these horses off Blush with Pride's sister, a horse called Monroe. Logician is a horse born in 2016, sired by Frankel, out of a dam called Scuffle, a 2005 bred mare who was sired by Daylani. You'll see there that Monroe, born in the year 1977, is Blush with Pride's sister. You'll see that Blush with Pride was born in 1979, 2 years after Monroe. Logician raced 9 times in his career, 6 wins, a second and third, 8 out of 9 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £547,751 UK pounds in his career. Logician won the 2019 UK St Leger race out at Doncaster. The horse also won the Group 2 Great Voltage Stakes the same year. At 5, the horse was placed in another 2 pattern races, but albeit at a lower level, never quite recaptured the form he showed at 3 in the St Leger and the Voltager. Very good horse, entered stud in 2022 at Shade Oak Stud in Great Britain, trained by John and Fabi Gosden. National Hunt Stallion, sadly, owned and bred by Juddmonte Farms Limited. But what I can do in this video is I can put a copy of a YouTube video card from my Stallion in Focus series onto the Horse Logician, and I can include that in this video now. That's really, we will be looking at sisters. We'll be looking at horses related to the 4th dam of our horses for the next 3 weeks, like I said. So I will include a card to Logician in the video to try to speed things up a little bit now. And then what we can do really is sort of move on a bit. We can take a look at Best in Show herself, a mare born in 1965, sired by Traffic Judge, out of a USA bred mare called Stolen Hour, who was born in 1953. Incredible to think that Best in Show is only the 4th dam of this horse. Incredible. Best in Show raced 27 times in her career, 5 wins, 3 seconds and 4 thirds, 12 out of 27 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $53,880 in her career. Best in Show managed to win at 3, the Group 3 Commonly Stakes of 1968, a race out at Aqueduct. Black Type Producer, sadly euthanised in November 1990 due to laminitis while in foal to Rahi. She's buried at Stonereath Farm. The horse was bred by Philip Connors and owned by Anne Forsyth and Stonereath Farm, an absolute legend of current breeding, I would say, in my humble opinion. Very good horse, Best in Show. What we can do is take a look where all this fits in on the historic bloodlines without any shadow of a doubt. People still have to go through the archive, the Wayback Machine, though, to access this site, bloodlines.net, because the site is suffering with something called an Argo tunnel error still at this stage. It doesn't look like this site is going to be fixed anytime soon. The lady that made it is an absolute genius, sadly passed away. So some sites, when that happens, do not get maintained, if they're solitary projects. It is what it is, sadly. But you'll see our section there. There's Best in Show, born in 1965. I mean, I'm trying to get horses on each section. The sex appeal section is a section of its own. You know, El Gran Senor, dual classic winner of 1984, is on that section. You've got this section here that the Arcoses are on. Mini Hawk, the same name as an Oaks winner last year. You know, they've had an Irish 2000 Guineas winner off that. War of Will, a Preakness winner not so long ago. Must have been one of the last horses entered on this side. Don't know if it's by the same lady or what. Doesn't look to be, does it? Because they've not done the same quality of job. But yeah, it's fair to say that there's been some fantastic. We've got this section here, the dancing show section, that we nearly got a look at with a couple of horses I've been trying to identify in America. In Australia, sorry, look at all them horses, Reduced Choice, Alma Hare, proper stallions. There's the Monroe section with one horse on it, just Czar. But so much has happened since then. You know, Blush with Pride, there's our little section with the Kentucky Oaks winner, little Giselle, Rags to Riches, and the Russian Derby winner of 2012 is also on this line, sired by Ghost Zapper. There's Peeping Form. We could have gone back to Stolen Date, which was the fifth dam of our horse, bringing in horses like Grey Swallow, the Irish Derby winner of 2004, Giga Kick. My Australian horse is on that section as well. You know, some very interesting horses on that individual section. All in all, an absolute bonanza of top-class horses. I would say from a Stolen Hour all the way to the current day, 1953. Some absolutely fantastic horses. Then you have other sections there that contain the Minstrel and the Nijinsky. Yeah, this is one of the best breeding lines, I think, that people can get on, if they can, and find a little bit of pattern race form on it. There's other sections up here that you can see, Cape Verde Acura Release section, that I've been working quite a lot with Albertine. I've tried no end of horses on this section, I really have. Yeah, and there's even Serafina slipped through the net. Down there, only the one standing out by herself. Atlantic Jewel, Commanding Jewel, Manicato again out in Australia. An absolutely fantastic line, it really is. AF, even got Birdstone, the Yanks again there. Had a little classic run on it. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. The Remembrance Mare, born in 1807. It all traces back to her. Bloodlines.net, hopefully the site will come back on its own domain. It will be a sad loss if it doesn't. Now, what we can do, I think, is can we close down some tabs to save on some CPU? Yes, we can. Just a couple of tabs, and we can think about watching Green Spirit win some races now. We can go all the way back to the 19th of May, 2025, a fortnight's time this year, and a 6 furlong race at St. Cloud to watch the debut of Green Spirit against a horse that ran, like I said, in the UK Guineas last week. He finished second, beaten by a nose. So let's take a look at the debut of Green Spirit, shall we? And then we will be able to see what we think.
And they're ready, they're racing, 1,200 metres in front of them, and Rihanna began well to the outside. Green Spirit's up there to the inside of Anna Dablam. They're the leading few, with Sede Vacant in the yellow and green holding the rail position. Going into the first turn, Scaletta is in behind the front wave. My Highness held up, has got 3 behind. Izia is one of those. Also off the pace is Bundigara, and Bundigara is ahead of Hollywood. Heading down the side of the course, Anna Dablam now in front of Rihanna, and then 3/4 of a length to Sede Vicomte in third, chased by Green Spirit in 4th place. Scaletta is next, followed by My Highness. They prepare to turn in. Izia and Bundigara are following, with Hollywood bringing up the rear. 400 left to go. Rihanna now being produced alongside Anna Dablam, who's under a ride. It's Rihanna and Anna Dablam, with Green Spirit trying to find top gear. My Highness running on with Green Spirit down the outside. The new leader is Rihanna, but here come Green Spirit and My Highness inside the final 200 metres. Green Spirit and My Highness. Green Spirit just in front of My Highness. Green Spirit, My Highness. Green Spirit, My Highness. Close call. Rihanna back in third, and 4th place goes to Bundigara. So, good finish here between horses from Big Connections. And it's going to be heads up, heads down on the line. Looking at the freeze frame, that's just a fraction after
Very close
the
finish there, it's fair to say.
So,
unfortunately, the internet needs renewing. What I have to do, sometimes I have to log in to the internet every now and again because it's on a BT hotspot. So I'll pause the video quickly and I will take care of that, and then I will tell you what we thought of the debut run of Green Spirit. I'll be back shortly. Hello everybody and welcome back. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting race. I thought 6 furlongs, you can see there, was the bare minimum that horse wanted. I'm not surprised they upped her up in trip right up off on her next start after that. I thought she just got away with that, didn't she? The Godolphin Colt, My Highness, threw down a good challenge on the day, but Green Spirit just managed, heads up, heads down, as the commentator said, and she just managed to have her head in front at the right time. I thought she travelled beautifully into the race, but when the jockey, Maxime Guillon, asked her to quicken, it was by no way immediate, was it? And I think then they would probably have known that horse under no circumstances was a sprinter. And I thought the horse did very well to just manage to get her head down at the right time and secure that vital debut victory that I do like with my horses. Just goes to show the fine margins that people have to deal with sometimes, I would not be as strong as I am on this horse if this horse got beat first time out. There really was absolutely nothing in it, was there? She then went back to St. Cloud on the 29th of the 6th to win a Class 2 conditions race. Again, ridden by Maxime Guillon. But we're going to move forward now to the 8th month, the 3rd of the 8th, in fact. And her first pattern race, and that was what race was it? I can't remember now. Oh, yeah, the Pre-6 Perfections. I do wish the Franks Gallop and tell you the race. The site is what it is. Why don't they just put Pre-6 Perfections there in a little thing so people can hover over it? But Group 3, Pre-6 Perfections at Deauville on the 3rd of August 2025. This was Green Spirit's first try at a pattern race over 7 furlongs. So we will be able to take a look at that race now as well, and we will see what we think.
8 of them set to go. And they're off in the Sky Sports Racing Pre-6 Perfections. Group 3, 2-year-old fillies, 1,400 metres. Royal Bay Sen out smartly in company with Wet Sand, and wide on the course is Valentina. The pink armlets on the black sleeves. The first 3 are followed by Green Spirit, unbeaten in 2, and then the green colours Narissa next in the field. Pale Silk's next, Secret Hideaway ahead of Bandy Agara in purple, and Clear Chope is last of all. So it is Royal Bay Sen that takes them along, and they have completed 600 metres of their journey. Royal Bay Sen in front of Valentina in second place. Green Spirit Maxime Guillon is in third. Then Wet Sand in fourth place. Secret Hideaway on the inside of Narissa. And then Bandy Agara, and about 8 or 9 lengths off the pace in last is Clear Chope as they run inside the 500 here. And turning for home, Royal Bay Sen has the lead. Valentina is chased along. Green Spirit waiting for some daylight. Plenty of it for Wet Sand, and also Narissa, who's picking up ground on the outside. Valentina trying to attack Royal Bay Sen. These are the first 2. Green Spirit switching, trying to run the front pair down. It is Valentina and Tom Marquand just going into the lead here. Bandy Agara finishing late with Narissa down the outside. Valentina chased by Green Spirit as they run towards the line. Valentina to Green Spirit. Tight! Oh, close in the end. Valentina joined by Green Spirit. It'll go to the judge. Very close between them. It was tight for placings as well. And with Narissa, I think Narissa's got third place.
The French judge that sorted all that out decided that Green Spirit was the winner. Green Spirit landed the Group 3 Pre-6 Perfections there by the shortest of margins, it's fair to say there. That looked very close, didn't it? This horse has really been dealing in the finest of margins in the 2 races that we've seen. So to this point, again, I thought the step up to 7 furlongs, you could see how it obviously suited the filly a lot better. You could see she was allowed to get into a rhythm a lot better there in that race, and she was allowed to take a nice, easy lead into the race. But again, when they pushed her out into the straight, the pickup wasn't immediate. was it? I mean, is this horse an Oaks filly? Is this horse? If this horse can travel like this and find the turn of foot like that, I do think that she will be harder to beat the further she goes. You know, we've seen her win over 7 furlongs in a pattern race. We've seen her win over 6 furlongs first time out. But this horse is yet to win over a mile, I think. I think the Group 2 that she won, the Prix de Mile, which is the next race we're going to take a look at, was also over the distance of 7 furlongs. No, it wasn't. I'm talking nonsense. So this is the pattern race win over a mile, 1,600 metres, that we can take a look at now on the 11th of September 2026. And I don't know what happened here. We're going to join the race sort of halfway through. I went to get the race from the usual place I get all my videos, if I can, and the race had already started. So unfortunately, we can't watch the first couple of 100 metres of this race today. So we're gonna join the race already in, and we're going to try and see if we can deduce anything from the bit of the race that we can see. So let's take a look at that and see what we can think.
Pair, Clear Shope, who's down on the inside, and on her outside is Green Spirit. So they're well in the false straight, and they're about to come to the top of the home running. Throughout, it's been Narissa, always on her outside. Princess Petrol in third. Madame Lee's always been in that position as well. Now Green Spirit and Clear Shope looking for the way through. The run is now there for the favourite Green Spirit, although she was checked off the heels of Princess Petrol. She now knuckles down. Narissa in front. Just here on the near side is Green Spirit. In between the pair is Princess Petrol. She's asked to go. She's still green. She ducked in. Green Spirit in front. Narissa won't lay down. She's trying to come again, but class prevails here. Green Spirit, 4 from 4. Impressive. Green Spirit first. Narissa runs second. In third place in Clear Shope, followed by Princess Petrol. And knocking up the finish at the rear is Madame Lee. 4 starts, 4 wins. She just gets better and better is this 2-year-old filly, Green Spirit. Green Spirit came into the race with 3 wins from 3 starts. She won the Group 3 Sky Perfections up at Deauville. That was up the straight course. The other 2 races were at St. Cloud, so she had been on a turn. This was her first time.
I swore they went round the bend at Deauville in the race we just watched. But that's another thing altogether. Yeah, we couldn't really gather a lot by that, could they? They were already entering the straight, really, pretty much as we picked that race up. But in the 2 races we've looked at, Green Spirit's won by a long way there, hasn't she? You know, she got there in plenty of time and really was allowed to coast across the line by Maxime Guillon in that race. You'd have to say that was, I think, by far and away the best performance of the three races that we've seen. The 3 races that we've seen have all been quite close races, haven't they? There could be a bit of a heads up, heads down. I don't think Green Spirit is ever going to beat anything convincingly, is she? She seems to be a bit like the French 1,000 Guineas winner last year, the Classic Watch 25 horse, Zarigana, who only got the race in the steward's room. She seems to be the one that, I don't know, she likes to save a little bit for herself, I think, shall we just say. But she does find, and I do think she is a very good filly. She's Group 1 placed, Group 2 and Group 3 winner already in her career. And we've seen the entries. We'll have another look at them quickly. You'll see that the horse is entered in the French 1,000 Guineas and the French Oaks on the 14th of June. So there looks to be at least 2 French Classic opportunities for this filly. And with a pedigree like that, it is impossible not to say that this horse does not deserve a Classic Watch 26 Possibles video. It's good to finally get a blush with pride on the site. You know, there's not been many videos done on this line, which is why it's nearly over an hour long. But it is what it is, so I best think about wrapping up this video now, I think it's fair to say. And if Green Spirit was to line up tomorrow in the French 1,000 Guineas or in around 6 weeks' time in the French Oaks, then there is a very good chance you will see the horse on a Classic Watch 26.great/site.net at some point. Right. I can think about leaving this video here now, I think. Thank you very much to everybody who sat and watched it with me. I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed making it. Very interesting horse, I think, Green Spirit. It's just a shame that the temporary form is taking over a bit on our last 2 runs, isn't it? She's beaten by one of ours, Diamond Necklace, in the Boussac, and her run went fourth in the Prix de la Grotte was what it was. But she hopefully she will line up in a classic. So I would love to get her on classicwatch26.great/site.net. What else can I offer you as we think about ending this video? I can leave a copy of the Classic Watch 26 Possibles playlist at the end of this video. Every single horse from the Classic Watch 26 process has its own video. So if this video wasn't enough for you, then head over to the Classic Watch 26 Possibles video that will play. That will be there to play at the end of this video. I will also give you an opportunity to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you do a little bit of work with your notifications, you can get it so YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video. You will not miss any of my videos moving forward. You have to do a little bit of work with your notifications manager in YouTube, but I've been told by the person I gave the advice to that it does work, and they do get the notification. All they have to do is click on it. Fairly easy. I'd like to mention Newman Racing as well, my Patreon at the end of these videos. Head over to Newman Racing. You never know, the Patreon channel might be for you as well. But I do think now it's time that we end this video. I think I've taken up enough of your time. And in this one, thank you very much for joining me. I hope to be back at some point with some more horses throughout the season as the classics intensify. France underway this week with the French 1,000 and 2,000 guineas on Sunday, held on the same day. You would have thought it. You know, getting both on the same day. Why don't they do that in the UK? That's another question altogether. But for now, I think I will leave this video here. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. Have a fantastic weekend upcoming. I hope you all enjoy it, whatever you're doing. And like I said, I hope to be back at some point. But for now, I will bid you a fond farewell. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.